G'day and welcome back to ShadowRan Hong Kong. Let's check if we got any pay data we can post for sale. It looks like we don't, but there's a lot of stuff just sitting around in Shadowlands, and in general Shadowrun has some really good just like fake forum content. So here's a thread about the police shootout in Victoria Harbour. I know a lot of you are interested in the 50,000 Nuyen reward that HKPF is promising in connection with the terrorist cell they're hunting, so I've been digging around for some better info. Think I got something of value. Turns out they had a handler in Hong Kong by the name of Raymond Black. The HKPF tried to take him into custody the day before, but were forced to kill him in a shootout. Looks like Black and the terrorists are members of the White Star group out of Henan. Isn't White Star all about restoring Imperial China? One of those terrorists they killed was obviously North American. Why would she be helping a pro-imperialist group? You got the money, you can buy any kind of person you need. You're on Shadowlands, am I? You should know that. So what do we know about Black and his band of thugs? Anything we can use to track him down? The data I've been able to dig up suggests that Black was from Henan and was distantly related to the royal family. He spent a couple of decades in Seattle making connections in the shadows in preparation for an attack on the Free Enterprise Zone. I've attached dossiers on his remaining agents. You sift through a long stream of data detailing who you and Duncan are. While the general details about your name and life are correct, many of the small details are wildly inaccurate. You are listed as having lived in Laos for the last 4 years, while Duncan is noted as having spent most of his life in prison. You move on to peruse Gobbett and Isabel's ostensible biographies. The dossier lists Gobbett's real name as Yuchan Gui and her birthplate as Zhan Shanxi. According to the contents, she is 23 years old and served with Baihu corporate military until conviction from insubordination leading to a dishonorable discharge. While you can't be certain that Gobbett doesn't speak any Mandarin, the idea of her being in the military, any military, is downright laughable. Howdy Tracker. Isabel, in turn, is listed as Fatima Abukar. Apparently, Isabel was educated at an early age in terrorism and piracy by the revolutionaries of the Ethiopian territories, and is wanted in connection with the bombing of the bombing 2052 bomb attack on the French embassy in Johannesburg. Given that you know that Isabel grew up here in Hong Kong, the information appears to be as laughably inaccurate as your own dossier. Poesy Bash. Alright folks, we're trying again, this time under a super secret codename. There's no telling how long this will last, so let the bashing begin. Matrix Bard. Super secret codename? You just ran the words poetry slam through a thesaurus. Poetry people, not complaints. A thief on the run, a silencer in the dark. The rat shaman lurks. Got one for the coyote shamans too. An unbound trickster. This shaman fears no peril. Wily coyote. On a roll, Jivey! Here's another one if Matt can stand it. Pulses of light glance off bright chrome. Translucent spheres encase my treasure. Mirrors and tubes, a neon implode. Another day in the Matrix. Tennyson. Hey, I can do traditional, I just prefer the haiku, because less typing. Gossamer tresses, infinity in your gaze, very pointy ears. Extra points for using gossamer correctly in a sentence. I like your L's. Jaybird is still the master of the haiku. In fact, a graveyard creeper, ashen skin, spindly fingers, and claws freak me out. Alright, Shakespeare's, this is strike 2. This thread is getting locked and you aren't doing this again, got me? This board is for deckers who want to talk shop. There are plenty of other forums that you can use for your stupid amateur poetry. I suggest you go find one. I love that the troll thread is poetry, mostly haiku. Top shelf sublet, available immediately. Like the title says, good location, cheap rent, serious offers only please. Harbour Rat. What do you mean by top shelf? As in fancy corp condo? How'd you manage that? No man, it's literally the top shelf of the converted maintenance closet I live in. You're joking. No joke, it's cheap and the location's good, right near the Temple Street night market, and it has super fast access just in case you need to get in and out of the Matrix quick. I'm not the sort to ask questions. There's enough space to stretch out just about, and there's a ceiling hook for your gear. What do you say? I don't know, I need a place, but still, a shelf in the shed closet? Screw that. I've got a sweet pad to rent that you can have all to yourself. It's not Victoria Peak or anything, but it's a bargain. Where's it at? Kowloon Walled City. It's one of the new construction units on the outer edge. I'll throw in a second ceiling hook. Deal? Okay, message me and we'll work out the nitty-gritty. Seriously, the Walled City isn't that bad. My apartment's huge. It even has windows. I'll beat Harbour Rat's rent. In fact, just tell me what you want to pay. Hello? Wow. I mean, I kind of understand that. I would not want to live in Kowloon Walled City. Shit is going down there. Typhoon warning? This newscast just aired. If anyone wants to watch real-time isobar data or Earthsat images of the storm, the basic service paywall on Skywatcher imagery is easily circumvented. The Imperial Japanese Meteorological Agency today issued an advanced typhoon warning for the northern Philippines and the coast of the Guangdong Confederation, as Tropical Storm Usagi has grown into a full-strength typhoon, Category 3 in the Pacific. Typhoon Usagi has formed late in the year for such a powerful storm. Meteorologists credit this glowing trend of awakened cold-season typhoons to global warming and powerful magical vortices in the eastern Pacific, which appears to help drive moist air convective over the cooler ocean waters. The newscaster looks down on notes. According to the official release by Lance Inruki of the IGAMA, Usagi is now identified as an awakened storm. We have observed strong lightning activity, electromagnetic anomalies, and extreme concentrations of awakened seabirds along its edges. Awakened storms exhibit anomalous physical and magical behavior. Many experts believe they show reactive intelligence and possible even self-awareness, and will resist making landfall to prolong their lives, even holding position against prevailing winds. The study of these storms is inhibited by their extreme environmental conditions and natural turbulence. In physical strength, Usagi may peak as a violent typhoon, Category 5 on the Eastern Pacific scale, but will weaken substantially before making landfall. Although mariner lore is replete with tales of malicious storms, scientists have detected no provable animosity towards metahumans in the behavior of these miracles of nature. Learn more on Wild Storms of the Pacific, this week's episode of Savage Nature, with the host Bertrand Madonica. The Guangdong coast will likely have a long precursor battering with drenching rains, but moderate winds as Usagi stills offshore. Usagi is one of the more powerful storms of the season, but not unusual. Usagi does not have super typhoon potential. This is gonna be perfect. A long soft hit by Usagi, lots of electromagnetic interference, security cops all tied up. It's running season! I hope everyone's ready for a high operational tempo. Our fix is already scrambling for crews. I heart storms. Nice. Also, convenient reason for why it's raining all the time in this game, and probably will peak as we hit the final mission, regardless of when the final mission happens to be. Magic, that's why. Looking for an experienced decker for a discreet milk run on the supply house for the purveyors of recreational substances. Potential for a longer-term arrangement. We're a team that's been together for years, running a basic heist and occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixer and a long list of happy clients. Requirement: you must have a good sense of humor. Hey, you willing to give a newbie a shot? I've been in and out of the Matrix since I was in school. I've read some cred doing odd jobs, so I've got a real hot new cyber deck I'm itching to try on real run. I'm a Zoom. I don't know, man. We'd really like to find a long-term decker, and you don't know shit. You said so yourself. Sorry. Oh, come on. You said it was a milk run. How else would a Shadowrun start if not with an easy gig? I'm being upfront with you. Doesn't that count for something? Fine, I got a test for you. You hack this guy, Captain Scone, and change his password to erotic massage. I'm on it, thanks. Done. Am I in or what? See ya. What the fuck, Captain Scone? Amazon, may I introduce you to our rigger, Captain Scone? You'll make a fine addition to our team. Thank you. You won't regret this. Gotta stop getting people to hack me, gimme, or you'll be looking for a new rigger next. Oh, you know you love me. Nice. oh, nice. The smack. Come one, come all, and welcome to what could be the very last Shadowland Poetry Slam. Something sad about that. End of an era. In honor of Jybird, I've created an expert system that writes haikus. It takes whatever's being said in the thread and turns it into a poem. Mind if I fire it up? Snazzy, you shouldn't have. What kind of poetry slam includes bots? This is lame. Homage to Jibert, the program stirs, churns out text. 3 lines mar the piece. Haha, that's brilliant, now I can hang up my quill! I really don't buy that a bot can produce poetry like a living, breathing, feeling human being. Sorry. Now this is bullshit! Despair grips the poets, a machine crafting haikus. The Jibot breaks free! Was that supposed to happen? The slam has now slammed. Its program has broken loose. Pandemonium. Well, look on the bright side. How much damage can a runaway poetry bot do anyway? You fucking people! Okay. I mean, I guess? That's a thing that could happen. The hunt continues. And despite their efforts, the government of Heoi has denied all connection with the terrorist fugitives, even going so far as to state that the White Star organization no longer exists. There has still been no word from the HKPF on the whereabouts of the fugitive terrorists. The mood on the streets is nervous. There is no telling when or where these terrorists will strike. For now, the Special Duties Unit of the HKPF remains on active alert, ready to respond at a moment's notice. This is Sunny Chung with Horizon News, signing off. What a load of crap. How are they going to convince us a bunch of crazy terrorists go to the FEZ and disappeared under their noses, huh? This would never happen if Lone Star was the sole police force here. Sure, because heavily armed terrorists never sneak into Lone Star cities like Chicago and Seattle, only to disappear and remain free to roam the streets after they engage in public gun battles. There's no way Henan is connected to these people. If they really were White Star, they'd have struck already. Their entire MO is suicide bombings and civilian casualties. If these people are hiding, they're probably on the wrong side of a setup. Sure, because everyone in the shadows is some bleeding heart fighting in the megas just because they believe in freedom. Grow the hell up. But that's true. LF Taylor looking for special job. Searching for a tailor for some unusual custom work. Ratstar 123. I might know a guy. Is this for armor? Not exactly. It's a surprise birthday gift for a friend. A friend's drone, actually. What exactly do you want to tailor made for a drone? A cat costume with soft little ears and paws? Or better yet, a bear suit? Ooh, or a red samurai outfit. I even have a reference for that I can provide. Oh, okay. You got a fat stack of Union? This is gonna cost. I'll find the Union. Can you help me? This will be so worth it. Yeah, I'll hook you up. Nice. I kinda want that for my drone now. Can't get a flight to Seattle. Hey, I got a problem I'm hoping one of you can help with. I came out to the FEZ 2 weeks ago for work. Now the job is wrapped and I've been trying to get an under-the-table flight to Seattle for the past week. Off the books, no passport control, that kind of thing. No one's making the trip. What gives? Check news feeds, man. Haven't you heard nothing? The Seattle's on lockdown. Nothing coming in or out of the city without a thorough search for at least a week. They got some smugglers trying to move some really nasty stuff through a COVID landing at Discovery Park. Seems like a bit of an overreaction. Tons of awful stuff in Seattle every day. What's so different this time? Not like this. You didn't hear it from me, but I've got some friends with ICE. They say whatever it was, it set off radiological alarms of the Coast Guard ship that was sweeping the area. We're talking fissionable material here, enriched and ready to go on a bomb. No way. Don't buy that for a second. More likely, some corp had an accident with one of their ships and dumped some radiological materials. They don't want to admit it, so City Hall's covering their asses. Don't dismiss the news so lightly. The smugglers were carrying cargo for winter night. It's only pure luck the cargo was intercepted at all. Who the hell's Winter Night? Sounds like a goblin rock band. Not who, what. All you need to know is they're bad news. You cross them, they destroy your life. If you ever run into any of them on a job, I suggest a solution that comes in 7.62 millimeters. New Pinoy in HK. Hey there! I just arrived in Hong Kong from CFS and want to meet other runners from the Philippines. Salamat po! Anyone? I make really good pancit. Well, why didn't you say so? Kamasta Pokayo. Lots of Pomahawk families here. Welcome. Hi, Tagasan ka. Me from Manila. I'm a Deca, you? QC here. I'm a Deca too. Pancit's fine and good, but can you also make Dinaguan? PM me if you can. Kamasta. Nice to meet you, QC Blues. Hi there, Street Mage here. Might know some Pinoy runners looking for a new Deca. Welcome. I love the... Yeah, okay. I make really tasty food. Alright. That was a fun waste of time. Let's have a quick check around town, because I think we did companion conversations last time. Companion Conversations 3. So now we're going to quickly look around Heoi, chat with people. I don't think I've got anything I want to buy just yet. No, not for 2K. It's kind of funny. This interface was built to work well on a tablet as well as a PC. But they decided not to make tablet versions of Hong Kong. So we got an interface built for a platform with a platform in mind that it's never going to be on. Ah well. Immediately upon entering, you notice the clutter. Somehow, the small magic shop is even messier than before. Stacks and stacks of books occupy chairs, tables, and the tops of shelves. There even seems to be more than when you first visited, as if you entered a paper factory and it's spawning season. You peer around a precariously arranged tower of books and find Crafty hungrily reading one of her mother's journals. Red rings her eyes and tousled hair falls over her face. It looks like she hasn't seen the better part of a pillow in the last couple of days. She moves to stretch and spots you. With a quick flick of her hand, she marks her place with the journal. What a welcome sight. Have you found anything? Not too much. What about you? A slow smile spreads across her cheeks. She nods. This mind-numbing tedium is starting to pay off. Check this out. The dreams everyone's having, they aren't really dreams, they're omens. From what I've gathered here, we're walking a fine line. They're pretty dangerous. Attempts to interpret them could lead to mixed results. What do you mean by omens? You know, omens. Harbingers of doom and gloom and bad things to come. Just a minute. Omen. A sign that warns of future events by way of visionary creatures or hallucinations. What causes them? Apparently, these sort of portents are commonly linked with malign places and disaster sites. They're caused by a leakage through wounds between our world and the astral plane. Okay, what's causing the wounds? Can we stop it? Not sure we can, at least haven't found anything about that in my mother's text. We don't want to dive into this haphazardly, Ranneko. Remember, these omens can be dangerous. How? Look, it says here that these visions or dreams, whatever you want to call them, are real. They're open to interpretation, but interpreting them incorrectly can be disastrous. Astral space is a place of dream logic. Taking the things you see too literally can be even more dangerous than ignoring them. So, it sounds like the best outcome would be for us to interpret a dream correctly. Using that term loosely, yes, but there's no real correct way to interpret a dream, and it's difficult to separate the nonsense from the substance. Can you interpret the dreams? I can't help you interpret your dreams. Whatever they're trying to impart, it's beyond me. All I can do is keep reading. There has to be something in this library that can help us understand what's happening. Keep it up. Every bit helps. Yep, I'm on it. So, I don't actually want her wares, so that's all I wanted to do. I'm pretty sure she is the key to getting the best ending. And she just never seemed to progress for me, which was kind of annoying. The three men are once again fixated on the game board. Jin rubs his hands together nervously, his face twisted in concentration. It appears that Shu now has the upper hand. The silence of the game is deafening. Amateur players would be filling the air with clicks and clacks of stones against wooden playing board, relentlessly trying to outdo each other. These men are different. Shu picks up a small black stone, his hand reaches over the board, then pauses. Jin stares at the outstretched hand, suddenly still. Shu begins to lower the stone, down, down, Jin's practically on his toes, and then Shu pulls his hand back. Perhaps not there. Damn it, Shu, when you make a move you commit to it, that's why we're doing this on purpose. Friends, we have a visitor. Two players look up. Jin sighs and holds his head in one hand, mutters something beneath his breath. Shu's eyes fix on you. He stares, unspeaking. His general smile and playfulness from before are absent. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just wondering if you're still having the dreams. This again? Don't you have anything better to do? Yes, we're all still having the dreams. Lao's voice is calm but troubled. However, they're going to hell of a lot worse. Let's not go into detail. Anything would be great. Alright, but after us, you have to let us finish our game. Sure. Our dreams have become unpleasant, so to say. Darker, violent. Not all that healthy, if you ask me, especially for men of our age. We've come out of them in a daze. Sometimes feels like we've been punched in the senses. And the imagery. Well, I said no details, so no details. That about sums it up. Shu, Master Lao? I have nothing more to add. Shu? No, nothing. Is everything alright, Shu? You've been staring at me for a while. Shu continues to stare at you, his face pale. He opens his mouth, closes it. He seems to be struggling to find words.
What's wrong with you, Shu? You better not be having a stroke. We're in the middle of a game.
If Shu heard Jin, he doesn't show it. He looks at you, and his eyes widen. You need to go faster. The shadows to follow you are getting closer. Excuse us, Ranneko. Our friend is tired. These dreams are taking a toll on all of us. Please, come back to it some other time. Understood. Take care. Yeah, so he's definitely been dreaming about us. Huh, what's happening with the trailer? Why can we do that? Alright. Job stealer. Huh. Inside a dingy, cramped living quarters cluttered with broken drones and unwashed dishes, what looks like a rumpled, motley-coloured shag carpet is heaped up all over about half the tiny space, obscuring most of the furniture. After a moment, the shag carpet moves. It rises about a foot and surges towards a window. Then it stops, pulsing, fidgeting. It's hard to see clearly through the built-up grime on the window. Wipe the window. The carpet's actually plush-covered drones, teddy bears, raccoons, little dolls. There must be 24 inside the caravan, all companionship models. They're all looking at you as if they realize you're not Matthew. They're fidgeting. Then in one coordinated motion, they all lie down and go dormant again. What's with the drones, Matthew? A hover drone loiters in front of Matthew, a stream of profanities spewing from his scratchy speakers. People nearby are looking away, ignoring the awkward situation. Matthew's cigarillo is dead, drenched by the rain. He stands with his signature nonchalance, but the edges of his face are twitching. His eyes are wide with fear. You could listen in, but you've already got the gist of it. Matthew's being chewed out. Of course we're going to listen in. A sharp voice emits from the hopper drone, interspersed with static crackles.
Don't pick up sales, you're going to be digging dog shit out of tire treads for a living, you got me?
Hey, King, come on, beautiful. I got half a dozen hot leads coming in just today.
Don't give me your cheap hustler stick, loser. If you don't push it in, you and your fuzzy little paddles are going to be living in a cardboard box.
Don't worry, beautiful.
I want to hear yes, sir. If I hear anything else, I'm going to pull your eyes down to your arse so you can watch me kick the crap out of you. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
Yes, sir.
That's better. Now don't screw this up, you damn screw-up.
The drone speakers finish with a shriek of feedback and clack back into its hull. The drone soars up in the sky and races off upriver. Matthew shakes himself off. His cheery demeanor surges back with a striking resilience. He turns towards you, a little wild-eyed, but otherwise restored to his usual self. Ranneko, hardly saw you there. Come on in, don't be a stranger, beautiful. Looks like someone vandalized your trailer. What? You mean the paint? That's just some neighborhood kids. Good kids having a laugh. A lark. Nearly fell over laughing when I saw it this morning. Why would someone call you a job stealer? No idea. Drones are job makers. I know what you're thinking, Ranneko. I think it myself. Drones take jobs. Well, medicine takes jobs from undertakers, and sewer drones take jobs from people who used to crawl through filth to feed their families. When you see a drone messenger or maid, it's easy to think that used to be a person. Could be, but that person couldn't do another job now. They can have a drone themselves. Everyone's better off. Why? Matthew's voice rises. His smile wrinkles painfully around the edges as he carries on enthusiastically. The same people who call drone dealers job stealers often themselves come to me for... Matthew suddenly shuts up. His smile gets even more waxy. Hey, let's not get wound up about all this stuff. It's too cheery a day for running off our heads. What exactly did the drones you sell used for? How do the people in Heoi feel about drones? How do people here feel about drones? Why they love them. Just about every household that can afford drones has drones. You sure you don't want to try this little UC2 tarantula? It's a great entry-level personal assistant. Drones free people to take skilled jobs. They make the economy more efficient, and drones give poor people services they couldn't ever afford otherwise. And what are the drones you sell used for? Just about everything. They're helpers to metahumans in all sorts of useful ways. Drones cook, clean, carry messages, lift heavy loads, tend to delicate tasks. Why, drones can even care for the infirm and provide companionship to children. Think about it, beautiful. All the boring, dangerous, painful jobs people used to do. The jobs that drones do now. He glances around at Heoi and at the walled city looming above. Despite his bright eyes and gleaming smile, his voice sounds almost thoughtful. Because of mechanization, we don't force workers to breathe as many chemicals in refineries. We don't make teenage girls pick silk cocoons out of boiling water. Not anymore. Drones help us. They're really something else, ain't they? Wow, Ranneko, just smell that brisk spring air. He inhales deeply through his nose, drawing in the fetid reek of the polluted river and the sudden heat of monsoon season. This topic's fascinating, real fascinating, but I gotta get back to work. Shall we walk the lot? Noticed you have a lot of drones in your trailer. Drones in the trailer? Oh, I think I have a couple there. Probably ones I'm fixing. Ah, probably. The repair work must never end. Gotta keep them running. They need to work if they're gonna work for me. And, who are you talking through the hover drone? One of my suppliers, Kung Ha. Real good businessman, sharp guy, sees opportunity where most of us only see broken part. Funny guy, makes me laugh my ass off. He sounded unhappy. Oh, that's just Kung Ha. He's like a paper tiger. He's a big joker, always shouting, but I think he's a real softy at heart. A real big heart for little people. Keeps me well stocked. Oh, what's your business arrangement with him? I sell on commission. Gotta keep these bots moving. They don't own their keep sitting out on the barge. You don't own most of these? Of course not. How could I afford them? I'm so lucky to have a guy like Kung Ha who has... Only problem is he's got me laughing in stitches so much it sometimes distracts me from the sales. Yeah, I was laughing my ass off over here. He gives you a long, awkward smile, the seconds stretch out, and he blinks uncomfortably. When he speaks, the words sound stilted like he's repeating a mantra. He's a funny guy. Ooh, what a pep talk at that Kung Ha. I feel like I could take on the world right now. Let's take a look at your drones then, hey? Okay, so... what do we have drone-wise? We've got Mark 1s or Mark 2s? Mark 2s. So, yeah. We could, in theory... drone... Robodoc Mark 2, yeah. We could, in theory, sell off our current drone and replace it with a better, newer one. But we don't actually have the required better drones, really. Oh, really? Drone Control 5, we don't have. Okay. Okay, fine. We'll leave the conversation. Goodbye, Matthew. Alright, let's just see what we've got in terms of karma. Yeah, we got Drone Control 4, because we've only got Intelligence 4. So actually, we could get Drone Control 5, but there's not much point just yet. But I'll think about that. So what does this give us? More damage, more armor, and better drones. So yeah, by the end of the next mission, we'll definitely want to have more drones. I think I'm gonna probably go with decking stuff this time round. Alright, let's check for anything down here. Nothing? Let's head into the Mahjong parlor. See what's happening around here. Okay, come on.
No time for runners now. I have other business to attend to.
Okay, straightforward. So it seems like only some stuff progresses each time. But the annoying thing about that is if we want to chase everything, that means we need to talk to everyone every time we come back. So we'll chat with the glaring orc in a moment, but we'll first talk to Spider Shen. Sup, Spidey? Shen's busily engaged in a conversation with someone on the other end of a video call. The other individual appears to be a tremendously handsome elf wearing an immaculate and undoubtedly pricey custom suit. Shen doesn't appear to notice you. I'm just saying, if Customs Office gives me any more crap about importing these tiger snakes, I'm going to be up a creek without a paddle. The elf nods, tilting his back with a mischievous grin. Leave it to me, I have some friends in the customs house. Between that and their shoddy record keeping, I'm certain I can get your snakes out of quarantine. It'll take a day, maybe two. If it takes longer than that, it's because someone specifically doesn't like you. Hold on, Yang, I'll call you back, I got a customer here. Who's the good-looking elf? He's my lawyer, Yang, our lawyer, I should say, since he's another Blue Lantern, and is part of the same crew. Shen lifts a thin Chinese sword, turning it over so the light glitters on the edge. I don't do a lot of things illegal in the strictest sense. It helps to have a good lawyer, you know. For most Shadowrunners, getting caught's the end of their career. Well, see, there you go. If you had a good lawyer, that wouldn't be a problem. Saves you a world of trouble, man. Most of the time, court means dead, so... Well, then your lawyer can make sure the inheritance goes to the right people, eh? This one time, we had to cause a big fuss and make sure it pointed at the Red Dragon Syndicate. We ran into one of their protection rackets and started causing all kinds of fuss, breaking windows, setting fires, roughing up patrons. Yang told us to wait and get arrested. Problem was, there was a vice squad that really wanted us caught and thrown in jail. We'd already embarrassed them a few times. Turns out he'd used a Decker contact to make sure to swap a bunch of public recordings, so traffic cameras would conclusively show us somewhere else, arriving at the last minute. He also made sure the vice squad that arrested us was citing for failing to file the proper paperwork on a bunch of cases. Squad got canned, we got let go. It was a thing of beauty. Getting some new pets in? They're not pets, they're an investment. I can make anti-venom serums from them, or I can use the raw venom to accomplish tasks that would be otherwise too messy or loud. You do wet work? When the situation demands it. Normally I work for Grandfather Woe exclusively. Sometimes, though, he asks me to do someone else a favor. Shen produces a needle from below the boat's table, casually flicking it off to the side. Glancing over, you see it's embedded halfway into a metal crate. I solve problems. I never know what the problem will be, so I have an array of tools at my disposal. It's like this. Yes, I can hurt people, but I can also heal them. I learned to heal with my medicine before I learned to hurt. When you know how the body works, you learn how to break it, as well as fix it. It's like a mechanic in a car engine. If you know how to fix it, you know how to disable. Okay, let's see what you got. That's right, we got fancy swords, which we're not getting. And we're never going to try because we literally do not have keycasting. We could look at getting like a fancy, outfit. Because currently our outfit is kind of crap. Right? But I'd rather have the money for other stuff. Just never get bit. Alright, see you later. It's good to learn more about them, even though I mean, I'm not actually going to use any of those. So we'll go up here, actually. Quick check around here. Chat with Fred. Sup, Fred? How's it hanging? You a member of the family that owns this place? Sure I am, Frederick Kafai. Some call me Freddy, most call me Shit No, Please Stop, or something along those lines. Yeah, okay, I think we've already had this. Don't care. We'll check the club after we do this. Okay, glaring orc. A diminutive female orc regards you with a sharp, challenging look. The fierceness of her expression contrasts starkly with her sweet, rounded face and neat bob. She flexes her cyber fists. She fires off a rapid-fire reproach in a thick Filipino accent. Why are you staring like that? Didn't anyone teach you manners? She plants her fists on her leather-clad hips and juts her chin out at you. Relax, didn't mean to stare. You're a stranger on my turf. I expect people to be civil to one another. This isn't your turf, and besides, these streets belong to my boss, Kindly Cheng. You're not good at making friends or fitting into new surroundings, are you? I think we got off on the wrong foot here. It's alright, I can tell you're a newcomer, I just feel a little protective in my part of town. I'm Rosario Ignacio, or members of my community, Cherry Pink. I specialize in transport missions and nanny services. Occasionally Shadowrun for walking around money. I can also fry up a mean batch of lumpia, but you can't have any unless I like you. Cherry Pink seems like an odd choice for a street name. It's a bona fide Filipino nickname. Unless you want a mouthful of fists, you'll show respect. How'd you go from babysitting to running the shadows? Well, I used to take care of the children for Wuxing Bigwig up at the peak. Turned out she was siphoning corporate funds to support both a gambling addiction and an extravagant lifestyle. She got sloppy, and I stumbled across some pretty damning documents as I tidied the house. Couldn't unsee them, much as I wished, and I started to fear for my life. She was growing erratic, so I ran. And why not go back to the Philippines? The Japanese Imperial State happened. Supposedly they've been in charge there for decades. When I was a little girl, they sent their Imperial Marines in. They destroyed my own neighborhood. I don't remember the events, but I still dream of fire to this day. How'd you get out? Half my family fled to the mountains. The other half left the country and eventually scattered over the globe. Didn't draw close to anyone but my parents, who are now gone. And any chance of contacting the ones that stuck around? The country's caught in a struggle between the Japanese and Hawk resistance. Nationalists and neo-anarchists backed by Dragon Masaru. Couldn't just walk in and look for family. Besides, they could be barricaded in caves avoiding JS forces for all I know. You sound pretty resigned about the fate of your homeland. Filipinos are a resilient people. I think the Hakan will triumph eventually. And if I've got a Filipino community around me, I'm good. Thanks for talking about it though. Not many people care enough to bother. Didn't run far. Why not leave Hong Kong? Couldn't go back to Manila because of those JS scumbags. But there's always been a large community of Filipinos in the shadows. I sought them out. How'd you get your cyberware? Always been a large community of them. They pitched in. Whenever I land a good gig, I give most of my earnings away, giving back to the community. Ever feel any regrets? Not sentimental about my old post, if that's what you mean. But on Sundays, my only day off, I used to go up and sit with the other nannies and housekeepers. I would bring pieces of cardboard so I could sit on the ground in the shade under bridges. We'd gossip, eat lumpia and rice cake. Nothing special. I don't belong to that world anymore. I couldn't risk word getting back to my employer. But I miss my old friends. You said you make great lumpia. What the heck is that? Filipino spring rolls. Crispy and delicious, full of pork, or whatever pork-flavored substitutes on sale. It's important to be frugal. That sounds... It's suddenly become very important to me that you like me. Then you must earn it. Everyone wants to be my friend because everyone wants lumpia. Only a handful deserve it. So you said you're a nanny. Look around you. You see these Shadowrunners and dealers of contraband in Johnson? A fair number of them have kids, or they wouldn't shout it from the rooftops. It's usually too dangerous to keep them close. That's where I come in. Shadow nannies are a great idea. No more bringing my baby into combat situations. I've shuttled kids in and out of war zones. I've gone into hiding with little ones for months on end while parents had to lie low. I've taught children good manners, hygiene, and the proper use of firearms for over 20 years. You're in a survival situation and you were worried about hygiene. You've never had a good nanny. I can see it in your eyes. I can smell it too. There must be something wrong with your nose. I smell as fresh as a pine forest. I usually nanny children, but you're a prime candidate for some remedial lessons in cleanliness. No offense. Do the lessons come with lumpia? Sign me up! I just want to make friendly conversation, and people only ever want lumpia. It's shameful. No, you cannot have lumpia. You may only desire it from afar. I should go. But anyway, I never talked to her in the previous time I played that. That was a really fun conversation. I loved that. Yo, Ranneko! Welcome back to the palace. You got anything interesting to tell me today? Because I got nothing but fixing her colas and debugging old ladies' PDAs. I swear, I'm gonna die of boredom. Let's just look at your tech lore. Okay, so no. Craftwork 1 is the best one we've got. We ultimately want to get the Novatech Slim case, which needs decking 5. Well, we want to get one of these two. Probably this one. It's literally just better than this one. Okay, except it's got a lower IP. Okay. But I don't think we need it now. What we could look at doing is getting something with more armor. Let's go talk to the doc, and then and then once I've done that, we can look at grabbing a bit of cyberware. We can look at how much spending money we got. Because I would like potentially to get a bit of words. Jeez, they're hard. Cyberware. Scrub up, Ranneko. Get me some defibrillator paddles. I'm installing some headers on this guy's liver, and now we're gonna shock him back to life. But seriously, no. Hand me the loot. What can I do for you today? Have you been having dreams, Ambrose? Nightmares? Nightmares? Hell, Ranneko, that's my life. I curl up with a bottle of vodka and a handful of pills every night. If you mean the toothy hunting horror dream, yeah, I've been having it. Shit, it's just one more nightmare. Let me tell you though, I've been doing brisk business in sleep aids. Just today, someone asked me for some ketamine. Ketamine? That stuff's a horse tranquilizer. What the hell made him think of that? Can you think of any medical reason for this?
Nope, even if we were all doing something similar intensively, it shouldn't happen. Our experiences are all too different. I've heard mages and shamans are somehow connecting to each other, sharing dreams, that's all. Hell, what do I know? I'm not a doctor, I'm just a guy who subscribed to psychological modernista. If you want to know about dreams, ask Crafty. My formal diagnosis is something fucking weird's going on. Can I have some ketamine? Hell no, if I had ketamine, I'd take it myself. But seriously, it's not something good to self-prescribe. You eat a bunch of ketamine, it's not going to make you feel well-rested. Oh, thanks, Ambrose. You're pretty banged up. Why haven't you installed some bionic limbs? Because I'm already chromed to the gills. I know I don't look it, but I got a full suite. Quad jacks, no softs, radio, skill wire, attack computer, whole bunch of riggerware. He lifts his dirty shirt, revealing a pair of tubes emerging from his side, running down in the wheelchair. Check it out, I got an artificial liver in my chair. I want to keep my last essence. I come to like humanity, I don't want to turn into one of the walking dead. What do you mean? Oh, come on, you know the names. Walking Dead, Toasters, Chrome Outs. I don't be one of those lug wrenches who cyber themselves all into their lives and start feeling normal emotions. You know, I know what you mean. I've had friends like that. Then you get it. I don't want to be like that. I'm real close to the line. Listen, I like talking about my crew more than the next guy, but not right now. Besides, it's kind of a personal subject. Looking for something today? Yeah, let's look at what you got. Sure thing. Tune up or spare parts? Okay, so I want to get something neat, but what do we actually got? Alright, what's affordable, I guess, is the first point, because we don't have any cyberware affinity, and we're unlikely to, and frankly, most of this we don't care. Super Thyroid is kind of neat, but I don't think it's worth 6 karma to get +1 to all physical attributes, especially since we mostly care about int. So, what I'm mostly thinking is the Eye Cyberjack, so we've got a hidden Cyberjack. Everything else, like, that's kind of useless. Synth Cardium is, you know, not that useful. Bone Lacing, not bad, but again, not super useful. And most of these are just expensive. Induction Data Jack. So that just basically lets us move this to a different slot. What else we got? Bone Lacing is +1 body, +1 strength. Again, just these are not things that we care about. Again, not things we care about. The Bright Light thing is kind of neat, but uses ranged combat. Don't think we really need that. So I think I just want the hidden one. I don't know if it'll ever come up. Kind of feel like it should because it's there. So is there any way for me to say I want to get rid of this? No. Oh, confirm. Yeah, we're gonna lose half an essence, taking us down from 6 to 5.5 to 5. It is effectively no difference at all. Come back to the garage soon. You were a Hong Kong Shadowrunner? I was. Sure don't look like much like one now. Man, that feels good. So, there's a particular way this conversation goes. Don't know if you're familiar with it. Yeah, we orbit around each other for a while and tacitly agree to speak only in the vaguest of terms. The Grapevine says it's your first rodeo, but I'm not sure I believe that. Listen, I'm circumspect about my past, and you're a new active runner, so I don't know any of your story. It's only a liability to me. I don't want to know any of your story, I should say. So let's make this conversation useful. I'll cut the BS and give you a down low on Hong Kong from an expat runner perspective. In return, you don't dig for my job lists. Deal? Sure. Rock solid. Hong Kong's a good lily pad for a derby crasher like yourself, Ranneko. Shadows are deep, money flows, it's friendly to foreigners, and there's no real government. Whole place is run by co-ops and syndicates. However, as fresh meat off the boat, you gotta decide who you want to be. Foreign runners follow 3 career paths in the com. They assimilate, burn their bridges, or get out fast, or they die. If you're a short-timer, you can be as violent and splashy as you want. But if you're in for the long haul, learn the local arts. Discretion, restraint, respect. Get that long-term face and don't embarrass people.
The Hong Kong shadows grind through expendable runners who are loaded up with bad face and then dumped in Victoria Harbour. So whatever you do, watch your back. So Kindly's keeping us around for our untouchable work, huh? Yeah, most likely. You're not just deniable. You're disposable and she can hire that out. So this isn't Seattle. Decide who you want to be. The other thing to remember is Hong Kong's a real complex place. It's one of the great global cities with enclaves of every major corporation. It's a syndicate town, it's a refugee magnet, and it's Guangdong. At some level, anything goes here, but when in doubt, assume old Hong Kong tradition rules apply. I say that as a loudmouth bastard. Be polite, be modest, honor favors, maintain face, give respect, and always treat people's time as valuable. You seem pretty into this, Ambrose. Hong Kong fascinates me. I used to hate it here. Now I love it. I found a nice little piece. If you survive, maybe you can too. You sure do seem like a survivor. People know who I am, but only in the network. Kindly runs this neighborhood like a separate country. You paddle across the canal and no one's ever heard of me, and never will. Anyway, it's private. Understood. Let's say, no, let's just go understood. Good. Well, that's my wisdom. What am I saying? Wisdom is you can never be too low profile, too lawyered up, or too well armed. Goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. Cheers, Ranneko. Talk to you later. Sweet. That was a nice little convo. And now we will chat. We'll go to the club. Okay, Henry, what's up? Why do you insist on shouting like this? Am I bothering you? I can leave. No, it's unusual. Most people leave me be. They don't know me except by name. Certainly don't know what I do here, so they got no cause to speak to me. Yeah, well, Shadowrunners work hard to lead that kind of life. So you say, of course, a Shadowrunner seeks such a life on purpose. I haven't. But I've gotten used to being the forgotten one in this place. I mean, in Callum are the faces of our business. Freddy's the face of our law, so to speak. So I'm no good unless I'm out in the water. Guess the skills of a sailor don't really translate to club ownership. No, they don't. I want to be a good provider, but I just don't know how to contribute anymore. Think about my own father. He was a fisherman long before me. For 40 years, he went out early in the morning and returned late at night. He put food on the table in a very literal sense. He did that without complaint every week until the day he died. That's providing. That's being a good husband and father as far as I'm concerned. My father wouldn't have lasted a day in this life of mine. World's moved on from what he knew and what I knew. I miss those simpler times. Any good stories from days at sea? Stories? An old sailor always has a story. In my early years working the fishing boats, I swear it seemed like every day we caught something in our nets stranger than the last. Sometimes it was cargo, either lost or thrown overboard by panicking smugglers. Sometimes it was bits of ships wrecked by the super typhoons they say the geomancers caused. We'd haul up the occasional body, figures some of them were refugees either from the mainland or Philippines after that whole mess. Human trafficking, pilots, lots of bodies in these waters. But more and more we'd pull up bizarre sea creatures, not sure if they were mutants or some kind of awakened critters. Small ones we always threw back as soon as we caught them. If you don't know what something is, it's best to assume it sprays acid or lays eggs in your brain. The big ones... A lot of times we had to cut loose the net. Nets cost a fortune, but when the whole boat shudders and you see 3-meter spines or tentacles or something breaking the surface, you know it's not worth keeping the net. Those were good times though, simpler. Things got a lot more complicated as I got older. As the seas we got ever more fished out. It's even more complicated now I'm stuck on dry land. Alright, I'll leave you be. Alright, drugsman. So. Fine. The most immediately noticeable thing about this orc is his immaculately maintained red mohawk and the beard he's busy nursing. He fixes you with a mischievous grin as you approach, touching 2 fingers to his brow in a salute. Hey there, Chief. What's crackin'? Do I know you? No, but you might want to, at least if you need a shaman on your crew. Illuminati Alabrad. Illuminati. Nice. At your service. Haven't had a chance to get established in Hong Kong yet. Maybe you can help me change that.
You kidding? Everyone around here knows about you. Guess they don't get a lot of crazy foreigners who move in and immediately start cozying up to the local yellow lotus straw sandal. The rest of us have to show up here and hope someone needs a hired gun. So, what kind of shaman are you? Kind with a shotgun and a penchant for bad luck. He lets out a roaring laugh and slaps a hand against him. I kill myself. Seriously though, Coyote guides me. What's Coyote like? He's happy-go-lucky, willing to take life as it comes. You gotta ride the waves and the universe will take care of you, you know? Can't fight what you're fated to be, but you can bend the rules if you're smart. Coyote likes shamans like me. I like that. Like me. Like most teenagers, I felt this call when like most shamans, I felt this call when I was a teenager. I've been running with the local gang, trying to scrape enough money together to not starve. One day we were just having a dust up with black hammers and I felt this force welled up in me. Next thing I knew, their knives just bounced off my skin. Things being what they are, I decided that making some real money was in order. Ditched the gang, started hiring myself out to whoever offered the most doing. It's all I ever done, but you're not likely to find many better. And what do you think of here? Frankly, I hate it. Walled City is giving me the creeps big time. Something's seriously wrong with that place, and I don't mean in the it's a kind of slum kind of way. Watch your step if you have to go in there. What kind of wrong is it then? Something's off with the Walled City's aura. Something in the astral's just sick there. Can't tell what it is. It's like all that misery and pain's just building on itself. Every misery empowers the other miseries there. I'm a sucker. You probably couldn't pay me to go in there, but you probably could, actually. I'm a sucker for a payday. They sound North American. Sure is. Born and raised in Federal Way, Seattle Metroplex. Not as bad as the Redmond Barrens, but still a total hellhole. Still kind of miss it, though. Guess being swamped by monsoons here in the Fez is kind of similar to Olarain, but less acid. Why'd you leave? Things were getting pretty heavy out there. There's a big blowout with the Universal Brotherhood and a lot of bad magic going on. Decided it was better to lay low until things calm down. Might be here longer than I expected though. Cash isn't coming as fast as I like. Keep safe. You know where to find me to hire me. Okay. Callum specifically. You again decided to make this whole home, have you? More like a base of operations. Ooh, don't you sound all tough. Sit down, I could tell you tales. Tell me about this family of yours. What's to tell? My brother's a meathead and my parents don't even know who or care who I am. They say they care for family first, but to them, family isn't just 4 people under a roof. It's some abstract concept. It's a name that matters to them. The Kafai name, that's family. My mother only cares about the business. Any hint I want to look for better opportunities met with lectures. As for Ba, well, he's never been the same since his life went into dry dock. First chance I get, I leave it all behind, mark my words. Okay? Tell me a story. You ever hear the one about the Phantom Sailor? They say it was once a good man, provided for his family, loved his wife and children, spent many lonely days out on sea, working hard to make their lives better. But the ocean takes his soul. Every time he returned, he came back with a little less of himself. Until one day, what came home was just a shell, the mindless body of the old seafarer, with his soul still lost at sea. The mind and body call to each other, and one day the sailor will walk down the beach, step into the waves, letting the ocean swallow him whole. True story. And I don't care about your drugs. So much talking. Alright, let's go look at guns, and that is everyone, and then we can go do the frickin' mission. Sup, Erman? Welcome back, Ranneko. How can I help you? Business good? Business is booming, as always. People like easy solutions, and they will pay good money for them. Guns are one way, booze and drugs is another. That's why we sell them. My son Callum doesn't understand this. He thinks he'd be happy as some corporate drone. I've been there. I can say for certain it's just a longer path to where we are now. It all ends with drinking or sometimes killing. At least we're direct about it. So how did you end up doing that? Back when my husband worked for Wuxing, he had a little side operation smuggling weapons right under the corp's nose. Strictly small time, barely worth the risk, but it brought in a little extra money which we desperately needed. But Henry was never good at brokering the deals. He hated that part of business, didn't care to haggle, always leaving money on the table. We fought about it often. One day he told me to handle it if I cared so much, so I did. As it turned out, I was better at it, much better. I'd worked in the business world before the boys were born. I knew how these things must be done, so I began to make all the deals, secured the product, found the buyers. In time, we didn't even need Henry to babysit the shipments. Our influence had grown strong, and now we run everything safely from dried land. And what's the problem with Callum? There's no problem, as long as he remembers his place is here. There are too many ideas in that boy's head, too much ambition. Ambition like that never leads to a good place. He should be happy with what we built for him. He's the eldest and so very smart. One day he'll take control of the club and all its businesses, but he feels trapped here. He wants to be free. Irony is that his idea of freedom is to work for a co-op. I know from experience there's nothing further from the truth. They don't call you wage slaves without good reason. But here we have true freedom. We make our own way. Wish he realized this, but he don't. And he's a teen. Well, he's a young person. Alright. We are done with all of the talking to people. I like doing it, but there is so much, and as I said, like, the best ending to the game is locked behind at least talking to one of these people and doing some other things. So there's a really big incentive to keep doing it. But now it's time to actually do Izzy's mission.